welcome back to the Haven Family Farm. Today is sort of a bittersweet day here for me. When we started this farm, we started with various different crops and ideas, trying to kind of do things slightly differently than some of the neighbors, offer some different crops, different selections. And one of those things was blueberries. So we started a blueberry patch with 100 plants, just to kind of get started and see how it would go. And it did not go very well. The plants slowly kind of died, and you know, some of them are still here, you know, in the patch, and I'll show you here in a minute. So as they were kind of dying, we're like, all right, we really want to give this a shot. So we, you know, did some soil testing and things like that. We amended soil, and we bought a second round of 100 blueberries. So that was we now have 200 blueberry bushes planted here. So we put those in, and that's been probably 4 or 5 years now they've been in. And there are other blueberry farms in the area. It's a successful area to grow blueberries in. I don't know what it is about this particular piece of ground. It will not grow blueberry bushes. They just keep dying. We've amended things, we've fertilized things. Unfortunately, we don't have any place that we could reach out to. There is a local extension office around here, but the help that you get sometimes is kind of hit and miss with that. So we're kind of on our own trying to figure this out, and frankly, I'm done with it. We have wasted the field space for years. We probably planted the first ones probably 6-7 years ago. So they have been tying up our field space, and we have not made any income from this field because those blueberries did not thrive, even survive. So I'm all done with it. We've done everything that we can do. It's time to move on. No more blueberries. So let me show you here some of the bushes that we have. Let's see, there was one there somewhere. This is one of the originals here, and you can see this year that's all we have on there. You know, some of them did okay. There should have been one there. There's what's kind of left of one here. This one did decent, but I mean, for a lot of these being in the ground for 5 years, and they stretch all the way over to the apple trees over there, this whole area here. But you know, there should be some here. There's nothing left here. I guess there's one here that kind of did a little something, but for the length of time that they've been in, they should be, you know, way above my waist high, you know, 3-4 feet high, 3-4 feet wide, and they're not. And we have wasted countless dollars on not only the purchase of the plants, but the soil amendments. And we used to keep this mowed perfectly around all the plants, and this year I knew that I was done with them, so we quit mowing it. So we spent a lot of man hours, a lot of gas for the zero turn, just trying to maintain this. And so it's cost us a lot of money, and again, it's time to move on. So you may be asking, well, why not save some of the plants that are here, transplant them, things like that. So that would be a possibility. However, transplanting things can be hit and miss. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that, and it honestly just is not worth it for the few bushes that are left. I mean, we walked up and down. These are the short rows here on this end, and they get longer on that end. So on these 2 short rows, we have like 2 blueberry bushes in each row, is all we have left. It really is not worth the time and effort to try and pot them, babysit them, nurse them back to health, and either try and plant them somewhere else or sell them or whatever. It's not worth it anymore. So we're just going to be done with this. So I've got my trusty New Holland and brush cutter on here, and I'm going to take great pleasure in getting rid of these things here today, because they have caused a lot of headaches for me. And yeah, so I'm kind of happy about it. I'm sad to lose the money. So each blueberry bush, when we bought them, they were in pots. They were decent. They were about the size they are now, honestly. They really haven't grown at all. So each blueberry bush was 30 bucks. when we got them. Like I said, they were in big pots, they were good size. We didn't want to start with little dinky ones, we wanted to start with good sized ones. So the first 100 was 3 grand, the second 100 the same thing, 3,000 bucks. We've got $6,000 in blueberries in here, and that does not count soil amendments, does not count fertilizer, and of course all the man hours to plant them and try and maintain them. So it is a hit to the checkbook, but it's time to just move on and start producing income from this spot. So what we're going to do here, we got the brush cutter on the skid steer. What we're going to do is we're just going to go up and down each row. You can kind of see where the rows are. I mowed once in between the rows earlier this year with the brush cutter. All I'm going to mow is the rows. For now, what we're going to do is turn this back into a hay field. It's going to be part of a hay field. So we're going to start the field down over there. We're going to come up the hill, and the hay field's going to go that way a little bit. And we actually, in future videos, we're going to be doing some land clearing up there to extend the field even further. Hopefully later on this fall before the ground freezes. So I don't want to mow everything because I actually, it's a little bit junky, but I hope to take a cutting off of this field. So I'm going to leave whatever hay is growing in between. We're going to leave that. So we're not mowing the whole thing again. We're just doing where the blueberry bush rows are. So I know I talked quite a bit, but just kind of wanted to explain the situation. Let's hop in the machine. Let's get cutting. All right, guys, just like that, it's all done. Looks like I made a crop circle here. Those are all done. It looks a little goofy, I know, because the little strips are in there, but like I said, this year we need some junk hay, and so we're trying to save that, and we'll end up coming mowing across the road, and then up there's a little patch here. You can see our sweet corn patch there, and on the other side of the sweet corn patch is where we're going to do more land clearing way back to the tree line to extend that. So this year the field will go from the sweet corn across the road, down the steep hill, and all the way over to almost the end of the tension fabric building. We're going to kind of make a big rectangle out of it. So there it is, all done. It makes me happy and sad at the same time. Happy that I don't have to look at this failed enterprise anymore, but it's sad because it did fail and I couldn't figure out why it failed. But as I said in the beginning of the video, enough's enough. They've been here long enough. It's time to move on. We need the land for useful things, and so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on from it. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you get notified of upcoming videos, and if you wouldn't mind the thumbs up too, please, while you're there. Stay tuned, because we're gonna have lots of great videos coming up. Any questions or comments, throw them down below. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see y'all in the next video.